A lot of people only focus on big name companies in Japan, but if you look at how hiring actually works here, smaller companies are often much more open to hiring foreign candidates. This is tied directly to how Japan's labor market is structured. Most companies in Japan are actually small to mid-sized businesses, and many of them are struggling to hire. Data from Japan's labor market consistently shows that smaller companies have a harder time filling roles than larger corporations. They don't have the same employer brand, recruiting budgets, or applicant volume, so they feel labor shortages more directly. At large companies, a single job posting can attract hundreds of applicants. At smaller companies, that number is much lower. So even if the role is similar, your chances of getting noticed are often higher. Hiring at large companies in Japan often involves multiple layers of approval, structured processes, and strict requirements. Smaller companies tend to have fewer decision makers, which can make them more flexible in who they consider. When a small company loses an employee or needs to grow, it affects the business immediately, so they're often more willing to hire someone who can contribute, even if that person doesn't fit the traditional profile perfectly. This is where foreign candidates come in. If a company is struggling to hire locally, they're much more likely to look internationally, especially if your skills solve a real problem. So while large companies get most of the attention, a lot of real hiring in Japan happens at smaller companies that are actively looking for people. If you're interested about living and working in Japan, consider subscribing to my free weekly newsletter where I break down tips like this in more detail.